All right, back for another episode.
It's been a while.
I guess so. I mean,
Yeah.
we did talk about Dune last episode.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, which we still need to upload, but it says my storage is full, so gonna have to work that out. But anyways, this episode we're gonna be talking about
TV show is done.
yes, a first for
Can you
this,
guess what it is?
for this series, and it's Squid Game, which what is it? It's the most popular show ever. Is it actually? Like the most watched ever? On Netflix, at least.
I think on Netflix, definitely.
Which is crazy. I mean, that's probably because. I guess it was a big thing in Korea, of course, right? But then also in America,
Really
it caught fire. International, all over.
Really.
Yeah.
Especially in America too.
Yeah, but yeah. At first, I thought like, oh, okay, it's just another battle royale type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought it was just another Hunger Games, like Fortnite, whatever. You know, like type of show. I didn't think much of it.
What changed your mind?
A change in my mind was I was watching videos that were talking about how it was like, you know, a criticism of capitalism and
And a broader meaning.
Yeah, and that intrigued me. So we decided to watch it.
Yeah, no, the show definitely focuses on, class relations as well as, a lot of other sometimes, survival, battle royale movies and TV shows don't focus as much on that. But this definitely did. Because it also focused on the outside world as well as
I guess Hunger Games.
Society.
I guess Hunger Games kind of
It did that too.
does the same thing, but this really puts it in the forefront.
Yeah, it's much more because Hunger Games is like really dystopian. This is
Right.
It's regular society,
Except for the game.
Yeah,
Which is, who knows? Maybe it is still going. But yeah. I mean, exactly. I think it's taking place in a real, like what we would think of as present day, contemporary situation, and yeah. What else did you want to say about it?
well, it was interesting because it had the ending, right?
Yeah.
It was I don't know. It had a mixed reception among people, and I don't think it was totally bad, but I think it was a little, I don't know. I think parts of, not just the ending, parts of the show itself, they were kind of forced, They were sort of scripted, you could say, and they weren't very original.
Mm-hmm.
And such as, like, the brother shooting the brother. I mean, it was fine to have, but...
Looking back on it, I was like, how did I not, like, know that was going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was kind of confused about that part because, like, because it said that, like, when he was going through the files, it said that his brother had won the game, the first game all the way back, like...
It was, like, back in 2015, right?
Oh, is that one? Oh, so like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is like this even taking place in present day?
I believe it is, I'm pretty sure, I remember when he was looking through the files. It did say 2021.
Okay, so then that's what I don't get because it seemed like he was saying that his brother had just disappeared, had gone missing.
Yeah, because
when he's first introduced, the police
doesn't make any
officer.
sense because, like, I mean, why would he, like, just go missing randomly and then suddenly he's, like, the front man?
Yeah.
He's, like, he's got the biggest job? I mean, we don't obviously... There's a lot of things.
No, he's got the biggest job, I feel like. Actually, I mean, we don't know.
There's a bigger job, but technically we don't really know what it is.
There's, like, a higher up, you think?
Yeah.
But, I mean... Yeah, I don't, like... This is another question I have, like, with the VIPs, how did that How does that come into play? Like what
made him think of
are
that?
they like the customers? Like
I don't really know I don't know what made him like think of.
Are they like investors in the game?
Maybe. It's interesting. I mean,
because I don't think I feel like they're not.
I don't know. They I'm not sure exactly because like I don't know. They're not exactly guests, right?
I mean, they are.
They are, but they're not. It's not like they're being shown something like. It's not like they're government officials being shown something. Interesting.
That's another thing, like, which was a big criticism about the show was like how the Americans were scripted.
People didn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I get like what they're trying to portray, like, cause like it was intentional. They were trying to portray like how they were like just dumb, like rich people, I guess. But like they could have done it in a more subtle way. I feel like.
Yeah.
It was like a little too blatant.
The actors who played the Americans they weren't the best.
Well, they were trying not to be good.
Yeah, maybe you might.
They like that's what, like they literally were like told to be bad. So, yeah. I'm not faulting them for that. I'm just faulting like the writer for just I guess making it too blatant, going like too over the top. I feel like making them too dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he could have done it in a more subtle,
without them like being like something you would see without like them telling you, like them showing you.
Yeah, but just like in a more subtle fashion. I feel like with like a more discreet way.
Yeah.
Like where you could still pick up on.
You pick yourself,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And it's not like it's like because it was more of like the audiences then gets confused as like you're right, exactly, they get like if it was the other way around they would pick it up, they would understand where the writer's coming from.
Yeah.
But the way they did it, they were just the audience got confused, I feel like.
Yeah.
But as a like going back to there being a bigger like a higher up, I mean I can't think of of what what the higher up would be for. I mean like the old man said like it was him and his friends that made the game.
There's a lot we do not know. I feel like they did not really tell us actually. I feel like much about the game. I feel like there's a lot more to know because it just doesn't seem right that like even just the old man or the front man or any of them. I feel like they can't be the highest rank. I feel like there's someone who has to be higher than them.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's another thing too, like, cause like, if that's not the case, then it's like, I mean, they've already told you in the first season who like the creator is and all that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be maybe because it's interesting because the director when he talked about like making another season he was like, well, you guys sort of forced me to do it. It wasn't like.
Is that what he said?
He wanted to make him not get on the plane because if he gets on the plane, then you don't have to make a sequel, right?
Right, exactly.
Like it's done for. But
Exactly.
if he doesn't, then
you're right. Like
he's
exactly. Then
he's going back. Right?
Then it's like a cliffhanger, and it didn't really make as much sense for him to get off the plane because he was going to see his daughter, if I'm correct, right?
Right after he almost chances of him actually seeing her again.
Yeah, I just feel like that character would not do that. He's
it does. It
he's such he's such a righteous character.
He has very good morals.
Yeah, that's another thing I felt like I picked up. I mean, it was you could just tell like the people that like for the most part like Ali and him. I guess not everybody.
Ali was also a very good person.
It's like even they're in debt, but it's just because like almost like they're too nice.
Yeah, they're
like what's the main character's name? I forget.
Ji-hun.
Ji-hun. I believe so. I mean, you could go look that up, but I'll look that up. Yeah, but he's like, especially at the beginning episode, he's always giving money to people. Like he's always very generous.
Yeah,
and but the system that he's under makes it so like he has to he doesn't have. What am I trying to say here? Like, it makes it so that like being generous is.
It doesn't reward you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean it's, and then there was two types of people who were involved in the game, or played in the game, I should say. They were Ali and Jihan, and then there was Sang-woo.
Yeah, Jihan is the main character, and then
Sang-woo.
Sung-woo. Yes.
I think Sang-woo and maybe
You're talking about the North Korean.
Deok-soo.
Oh, yeah. Who's that? Oh, yeah.
They like, especially Sang-woo. He really like, he was sort of a friend of all of them. He was a friend of the old man's. He was a friend of Ali's. He was a friend of, Jihan's, obviously. Yeah. And then he sort of became so greedy. He really wanted that. He really wanted that money.
He really did. I feel like he was always. They don't exactly tell you, like, directly why he went into like the debt that he went into.
Yeah.
I feel like he was always, like, I feel like the whole time, he never really actually, there was no, like, I feel like he was he wasn't a dynamic character. I feel like he was always like that. He was always gonna he was always gonna be greedy. I mean, look at what he went into. Like, look at the profession he went into as being a stockbroker.
Yeah.
That's all based on greed.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like, and he went into debt.
Absolutely.
Maybe because he was too greedy.
Yeah.
And
then these other people who are indebted just because they're poor, right? And
Ali's an immigrant.
Decisions. Yeah, Ali's an immigrant.
And then
Jihan's.
I mean, he has a big gambling problem, though.
Yeah, but it's still not. It's definitely not the same thing because.
Yeah, no, definitely.
People get a lot of their problems from being lower class.
Yeah.
But Sang-woo, on the other hand, he's more wealthy but he makes very bad things. Even though he's in a suit and tie, he still does really bad things.
Exactly. It's like, well, like, it just showed, like, the whole thing in the whole Squid Game is like, the good guys are like Ali and Jihan. Like, those are like the only good guys, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty much. And there's other people who
say Byak can be interpreted as a good person.
Oh yeah, her as well.
She's she came from North Korea and she's just trying to, it's just her and she and her brother and she's trying to get her family out.
No, you're right. I forgot. I forgot. But yeah. Her. And then there's other characters as well who start off good, but then just like the constraints that the game puts them under, like
talking about the police detective. Or?
No.
What about
the police detective is also another good.
Yeah.
Good person, good character. I'm just talking maybe like.
But you're not saying Sang-woo is an example of the.
Okay, this is what I was. Sang-woo, like, he changed because like. As the game progressed, he became more and more unhinged, and he just more and more greedy.
Yeah.
But at the start, I feel like he wasn't as greedy, right? But he still had that spark.
He always had the same personality the entire time.
Yeah, he was very serious.
Yeah.
He was very serious. I don't think he was trying to kill anybody at the start.
No.
Right. But it's just as the game progressed, and I think that's true for a lot of the characters.
That evilness came into him.
Right.
And then with Deok-soo, he was always just this like mean guy.
Yeah.
But I always felt like Sang-woo was just more evil than him at the end, like before he died.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because Deok-soo was always just this thug that was really.
But he was insecure.
Yeah.
You could definitely tell he was insecure.
Yeah.
And then Sang-woo, I feel like. Another thing, like Deok-soo and who was the woman, Min Nua. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that name.
Yeah, the woman who killed Deok-soo.
Yeah, like his like lover, I guess. Like
yeah.
That was another like weak point where she just grabbed him and just jumped off.
It was forced as well, I think.
I think the end result I understood.
Yeah.
But they could have done it better.
In a different way, instead of her like overpowering him.
I mean, it was just like it wasn't even that. It was just the moment was way too prolonged.
Uh-huh.
It was like
30
seconds of them just talking to I feel like that wouldn't happen in real life.
She was such an annoying character, you know.
Because she was very because she tried to side with whoever.
Yeah, but just the way she yelled, it was very annoying, you know. I think the the film, the directors and producer, they probably tried to make her I don't know, very annoying. But
is that what she's? Well, because she would just side with whoever. You know? And because at first she threw away her morals to side with the strongest. Group, which was Deok-soo and his minions, who ended up just cheating him in the end, and that was foreshadowed by, I forget who it was. Oh, it was by Minuar, where she just tells Deok-soo one time, oh, they're not, or maybe it was Ji-hun. When they're building the fort, he was like, oh, they're gonna turn on you, and that and you can tell right at that moment, Deok-soo gets so insecure, and he starts doubting his companions.
Or did he say that? Yeah, I think you're right. Either way, though, he definitely did change. There were these moments of insecurity with Deok-soo where you could just tell by his face that he was just very uncomfortable at times. He was not always this this, this cool guy, this cool thug or whatever.
No, definitely not. He was like a bully. He wasn't no gangster. He wasn't he was just a regular bully. I mean, going back to the the higher ups or whatever. Oh yeah, this is so. How come how do you become a front man? I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's hard to tell if you win the game, because, I mean, he won the game, right? In 2015, but then somehow 6 years later, in 2021, he becomes a frontman, just randomly. He's living his normal life, because he said, his brother said he went missing, right?
Oh, and then suddenly, now that makes sense.
Suddenly just becomes a frontman? I mean,
that makes no sense.
I feel like at the very beginning, after the first, because he goes missing because remember they play the first game, right? And then they vote to terminate the games. And then they do, and it's interesting because not all the people actually return. I think 13 or something people don't actually return to the games. Yeah. And that's when he goes missing, in between then. Right. So he wasn't front man during the first game or whatever. I remember it being somebody else. I feel like it was a white person.
Really?
Or I feel like it was someone else.
He could also speak English as well.
Well, he could speak English, but not it was broken.
It was a different accent.
Yeah, I feel like there's the other front man or the other captain or whatever. I think he was
different. Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back to it, because he takes off his mask.
Yeah.
And you don't see his face, but it's definitely a different person.
Yeah. He didn't have black hair, right?
No, he had brown hair, white skin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a different person.
You're right. Okay. Okay, so now this is something I've been wondering. Is the second season going to be Ji-hun tries to tear down this Squid Game and everything and the whole infrastructure behind it?
Well,
will he become the new frontman? I feel like.
I think a lot of the audience hopes that does not happen. And I know the director said that he was going to maybe pull some of the ideas for the second season from fans around the world.
Really? Wow.
He said maybe you do that because there's so much pressure on him to
deliver. Right.
But
yeah, I feel like when it comes to Ji-hun, I wonder if do you think it'll still work out if he stays like the next season, he's still the most moral, ethical person as he was in the first season.
I feel like that wouldn't really. I feel like he's gonna change. He should change. I don't know if it's gonna. I mean, he can't really get any nicer. I don't know, but he could get. He could, you know. I mean, who knows how many seasons there will be? So, it's hard to tell, as of now. I mean, you know, one person he did, the director, I believe, did say he would actually want to explore more, who we did not see really much at all during the first season. But we still, when we think of him as a major character, is the recruiter.
Oh,
the guy you played the game with.
Right.
You see him only in the first episode and then the last one. But I think I would like to learn more about him too.
Yeah, I mean, like, it seems like the way they present him in the way they present him in season 1 is that the way that they present him in season 1 is that, like, he seems just like he doesn't have any backstory. Like, he's not supposed to, you know?
He's just like a robot.
Exactly. Like, so I feel like, I don't know, I mean, it'd be interesting to expand upon.
Maybe not as much on him himself, but maybe how they do it.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I'm thinking, like, how I would like the second season to go, but I just didn't like how the ending went, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just didn't seem like what Ji-hun would do.
Yeah.
And so I feel like...
Some other people, I believe, agreed.
So I feel like...
I think that's what LeBron James said. He said, like, you're going to go see your daughter. Why didn't you just fucking do that? Yeah. In a press conference.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
They asked him a question about that?
I think Anthony Davis was with him. I forget what he said, but yeah.
Wait, one of the reporters asked him.
No, I don't know if he asked him. I think they were just talking.
That's funny. Yeah, no, that's the same opinion I have, because that's the same qualm that I have as well. But, like, okay, like, but you can't reverse it. So this is what it is. Ji-hun is going back. This is in the second season, I think also Sae-byuk, her brother, is going to become more important. I feel like Ji-hun is going to come back to him, and he's going to be like his Robin Hood, I feel like.
Do you think he'll be older in the second season? Do you think they'll go forward multiple years? Well, actually, maybe not just yet, because...
No, because the ending is such a cliffhanger. Yeah. It's literally him going back to trying to...
Yeah, so it's going to be right now. They're going to stay at that time, I think, when they start the second season. They should.
That would make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's another thing? Like when he was calling them, about to get on the plane, and he called the Squid Game, they knew exactly where he was. Okay, so that must mean that they have trackers on everybody as well, right?
Yeah, and how does the police not, how do they not reach them? How do they not know about them?
Know about who?
The game, Squid Game.
I mean, because it's covered up really well.
Probably.
And also maybe they probably bribe them. Who knows? You know, they could go more in depth on that.
I think they
should. I liked the side story of the brother of the front man. I liked that a lot. Because it was a nice, mystery of him just trying to find his brother. Maybe in the second season, if they could...
They should expand on... I think the director said he wanted to expand on that, too.
Well, I mean, there's not much to expand. He's already dead.
We don't know that, because a lot of people were saying he might not have died, because he was shot in the shoulder, I think, and he felt like he was still alive when he fell back into the ocean. They never really showed his dead body after that.
You're right.
So it's possible. I mean, it would just make sense. They could have just shot him in the head, and he would have...
because it was his brother.
He would have still fallen back.
Yeah.
So maybe he just wanted to not really talk to him at the moment, but he still wanted to not kill him. But
I mean, it was his brother as well. I don't think he could have been able to to do that.
Yeah,
he was very seemed shaken afterwards.
Yeah, he was thinking about it.
Yeah.
There's a really interesting theory, and it has to do with back to that point I made about the recruiter.
You've done your research.
Not really, a little bit, but and they said that how he was playing that game with him, the game everybody plays with him, right?
Who? Wait, what you talking about?
The recruiter.
Oh yeah, right. You're right.
Everybody plays that same game with him, right?
Right.
And you either choose blue or red.
Right.
Right. Since since Ji-hun chose blue to play with, maybe they made him a player in the game, and if he had chosen red, then he becomes a guard. Because although the players sort of wear this like tealish color, and the guards wear this sort of pinkish reddish color, it still would it's interesting because they could both get put into a bad situation.
You're right, and remember when he takes off his mask, and it's just literally just a kid.
Yeah, it's just
one of the guards. Yeah. So you're right. I think they're both. Well, there's what's the incentive of the guards?
Yeah, I was thinking how are they gonna?
There's no cash prize. They're not playing the game. Maybe they're just getting a wage.
They're just getting
So I mean, they're just getting a job.
Yeah.
And this is it's like they're indentured servants.
Essentially,
they can't opt out of the job.
Of it, right?
They have to serve it forever to repay all their debts back. Maybe.
I mean, how do you know if they are getting paid? I mean, they're getting. I'm sure they're giving some food and a place to sleep, but you can just argue they're slaves.
For sure, that could be most definitely. Yeah. That's another thing as well. Like that. I also like the side story of the doctor who was participating in the game, but also doing the surgery with the guards, and they had this whole operation.
Selling the organs.
Yeah, what was that all about? I mean, that kind of came out of nowhere, and then I mean, I don't know. They could follow up on that, but I feel like that's all side stories. Where the main narrative is gonna go is just gonna be Ji-hun. I feel like they've been put in a spot where I
think they'll expand on the brothers though.
Yeah, that's one arc you could do. But they put themselves in a spot where I don't think they could. I feel like a lot of people are not gonna like this second season. You know?
Yeah.
I just have a feeling.
It's just. I don't know. They shouldn't be putting too much pressure on the director, because I mean, think about what would have happened if he had decided to do that other ending.
What was the other ending?
Him just getting on the plane.
Uh-huh.
What would people have said to that?
Okay. I feel like this is where they should have ended it. They should have ended it when he's calling his daughter. It's I got a present for you, and he sees the guy playing the game on the subway.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they should have ended it. Because I don't like how they dragged it on.
It's unnecessary. That. I actually totally agree with you.
You know what that does? It makes him... Because this is how I would have done it. It makes him you see him this is how you would have done it. You wouldn't even shown them playing, you would have just heard them playing. Maybe.
Well, see, I was pretty sure that it was them playing. I knew what it was. But I feel like a normal viewer, because I was expecting it. I was I feel like they're gonna show them again. But I feel like some normal viewers were not I feel like every viewer who watches it would have to know. But I feel like that is a good thing to add though.
Or maybe, yeah, okay, maybe not. Maybe you do show them. You do show them playing, and then it pans back to Ji-hun's expression, and he's not gonna stand. You just.
Or you could just have him
you don't know
Or you could just have him go to the train when he's
yeah,
go up to his,
you could do that as well, but that isn't. That's what I was
But then it shows the person as well.
The yourmoviesucks.org, he was talking about this. He didn't like how that was it was kind of cheesy, where he gets all the way there and the guy's just leaving. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't that bad. I feel like you could end it there,
I agree.
But you could also end it where he's just looking across the subway station.
I think that's much better actually. Now that I hear how perfect it was, because there's so many parts of the show that's like that, where it's he perfectly makes it right at the end of that's a little. And then I feel like you end it there. You end it there when you're seeing the game going on in the subway, and you start the second season maybe. Him returning from seeing his daughter.
No. I feel like you started with him, and you just do something about that. You talk about that story.
Normal, right? Yeah. That's how the first season started. It was his personal life. You got to. It wasn't anything that had to do with the game.
Then it's him coming back, and you just go from there.
Yeah, I think that's
how I would do it.
Now that you say that, I'm kind of annoyed. I'm really I'm just wishing that he had done that. It would have been so much better.
I mean, I like, not saying that, I'm not trying to say that he did a bad job. I think this,
He did do a
like,
good
this
job.
show was really good.
Yeah.
You know, I think, like, it just shows, like, it was really good. It just goes to show that, like, an international film getting so much
It's great. Yeah.
love and support here in the States, I feel like it exemplifies how good it is.
It's great. Yeah.
And
Well,
I
how
think-
many people are dubbing it?
I don't want to even know. It's so
Probably the
bad.
majority of the people
It's
are.
actually so bad. Have you seen the clips of the
No,
dub?
but I can imagine how bad it is.
It just shows how nobody watches foreign films.
Nope.
Which is so annoying, you know.
And everyone watches. Probably a lot of people are watching the dub probably because it's just
Dubbing is not the way to go.
I know. No, you have to. It's just.
It just ruins the experience.
Yeah, you don't get the same. I don't understand. Like I can't even like connect with the characters when I'm watching something dubbed.
Yeah, it's so fake.
It's just
Yeah, it just doesn't work. Like, and like I don't know. Maybe some people like who haven't watched subtitles for as much as like we have. I guess like it might be harder to be like, oh, it's messing up the image. You know, there's letters. But like I just like when I'm watching it, like when I'm watching a movie with subtitles, I'm not even thinking of like I'm not even aware that I'm reading it and watching it at the same time. You know.
You can still like understand.
Yeah, no, you can still understand.
It's
It's
the same
almost
thing.
it's like your eyes gloss over, and you're not even like but then like sometimes I think about it, and then once I'm aware of it, then I'm like,
it's like hard to focus. Right?
yeah, exactly. Then you're like, oh, I'm reading it, and I'm looking up.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing when you're reading a book. You're like,
Yeah.
wait, I'm reading something, and you just stop focusing.
That doesn't happen to me as much when I'm reading like a book, but like when I'm reading subtitles, definitely. Yeah, but like, not even like, especially with how like entertaining this show was. I mean, the thing about this show, like what it shows on a broader sense, is that like to like for a show. I mean, the director like explicitly said that this is a critique of capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Like for a show to do that on such a wild, it just shows that like you have to. You have to go with the Hollywood playbook. You have to be like the blockbuster film, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You just have to have like all the gore. You have to have all the like the gaudy, like flashy, you know, attractive like just attractive like advertising. Not advertising, but the way like the film, the show is told. Like what I'm trying to say is that to critique something to give a critique to like such a wide audience, you have to go with the norm, with like what gets people like with you can't have people you have to go with people's attention spans. You have to go with like what people like, which is violence. Mm-hmm. You know, like stuff that really grabs people's attention.
I think that part was subtle about, especially the critique of capitalism too. That was subtle. That part was subtle.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, like you could go throughout the show, and like not really pick up on that.
Yep, I really didn't even.
Because why? Because like because we don't even think of like when there's plenty of movies out there about poverty, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't even think about that as like a cause of our economic system, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like most people just don't think about it like that. So that's why it's the same thing with Squid Game. Like people don't even realize. Like, let's say it was something about race. Like, people would recognize that it's critiquing racism, right?
Yeah.
But, like, people don't recognize that this is a critique or it's an allegory to something bigger, you know?
Yeah, because, I think it's very realistic, too, I feel like. I mean, again, I don't... but it seems realistic, I should say.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Right.
But...
Right, I mean, I also... What I was also going to say was that... It's like to provide like change through pop culture, like this is trying to do here, like it kind of doesn't like really work to like change people. I mean, maybe it does win people over, you know, but it's like most people are just watching it for like the entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like
they're not really focusing on the broader meaning of it.
Yeah, like especially and like what it does. Like, let's say, like, he tried to make this TV show more artistic. It wouldn't reach as many people because maybe it would be slower paced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although, like, the whole battle royale idea, I think is pretty ingenious because like, okay, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. What I'm trying to say is that he might have gotten. Never mind. Actually, never mind. I guess all I'm trying to say, like above all, it's just like most people are just gonna come off from the show just like it was entertaining,
you know. Entertaining, but they're not gonna really think about it too much. Right?
Yeah, and like even if you tell them like, oh, it's a critique of, you know,
capitalism, they're not gonna care.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's cool, or something like that. Because most people don't really care, you know.
Yeah, they don't care. A lot of people.
That's like the paradox of one of the paradoxes of this show, and just like any like entertaining art piece, you know.
In general, yeah.
Yeah, is that like it doesn't? It's like hard to like. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like hard to win a lot of people over, even though if you go the mainstream route like this show did, like you still, you know, a lot of people see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's something at least.
Yeah, but they're gonna see it and they're gonna be like, oh, I loved it, and they might maybe think about it, but not in the way that is, I don't know. They'll think about it as like an entertaining show, but not as something that, you know, has an important message.
Yeah, and like that's what, like when you look at comments about it, they're like, oh, I didn't think of, you know, this as a critique of capitalism when I was watching the show, you know, and I still don't. I still like the show a lot, you know. That's what when you see comments under, like, you know, videos about it, about Squid Game.
I mean, to be honest, I really didn't think about that part too much.
Really, yeah. That's the thing, like, because I got introduced, like, I was intrigued by it because I had watched videos talking about, like, the political side of the show.
Before you watched the show?
Yeah. That's how I decided to watch it. How'd you just, like, your... Like,
I heard about it.
I heard about it on like a comedy podcast as well, but like your friends as well. Yeah,
they'd all seen it. I'm sure if I asked people, like what like if I talked to them about, you know, how is a critique of capitalism and, you know, and the broader meaning of it, I'll see if they care, but I have a feeling they probably
I actually did. I did. Yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, I know, I agree with you. But like that's where the conversation stopped, you know, like you know, this another thing, like most people. Maybe if they acknowledge it, they'll be like, yeah, it's a critique of capitalism, but like I still think like capitalism isn't that bad, you know, as it is portrayed.
Yeah.
Like they're like, it does a nice job, like you know, but like they might not agree with it, you know.
It sort of ties into how, like, you know, people will, like, they'll want to support maybe some certain progressive reforms, but then they're like, we don't, if we don't have it right now, it's okay. We can wait, you know.
Right. That's like, no, that definitely, I definitely get that. Like it's like, oh, we're ready for that now, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like for someone like, I guess like, who's upper class, who's not.
They're like, yeah.
Like people can't wait for that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
They don't have the privilege to, you know.
Yeah, but.
So no,
upper class people do
for sure. Yeah. No, I definitely get that. Like I could like recall like moments like of just like people in life that I've known like, you know, just like saying stuff exactly like that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to talk about relating to Squid Game?
Hopefully the second season will be good. It'll be interesting, I should say, how it goes. I'm more interested in how it ends up being than whether I like it or not, I think.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, it's like I really like the first season,
mm-hmm.
and I'm content with that. Like I don't need a second season, you know. I mean, except for like how like addicting it is.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Yeah.
But like other than that, like I don't. It doesn't need a second season.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to watch the second season really.
Well,
you know?
with like, I mean, if you're looking at it from like a film critic's point of view, I mean, you're gonna have to need like a TV critic's point of view. You're gonna have to see a second season the way the first season ended.
Right. I mean, that's another thing as well. Like when it comes to TV shows, I mean, we were talking about this before we went on air, right? before we recorded. I like when it comes to TV shows, it's like they almost like have to drag out certain stuff or leave certain stuff blank out of the picture, just so they can prolong
another season. Right?
Yeah, even the episode as well. You know.
Yeah, they do that with episodes too, especially with this one. Like I'm trying to think of one of the endings to one of the episodes. So when he was looking through the records, the brother was looking through the records, and he was like, he sees his brother that won the Squid Game, like number 132, and then it ends totally.
Right.
So
right,
they have to do that.
Yes, and there's and with the ending episode as well, of course. Like yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry, what were we talking about again when it comes to the? Oh yeah, exactly. TV shows.
Yeah.
So, right, that's one point about it, where it's just basically it's like prolonged, like you can't. It's like that's one of the pitfalls of TV shows. Like, and it makes it so like, I guess it makes it so there's more like imagination like the viewer can have, you know, because even after a season ends, you've been with the characters for longer, right? Than maybe like a movie.
Absolutely. You
so like, then like you could like fantasize about what happens after the season ends, you know.
Yeah, you're more. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. I'm trying to put that into like there's something like I have this certain feeling towards TV shows that I like, where I want them to like I want to stay with the characters, you know.
Right. And that's what a good TV show does. I feel like. I mean. Yeah, and another thing about TV shows, I feel like. It's just. I mean, another thing about them is, when it comes to Squid Game, like Squid Game could have ended. It could have been a nice ending, right? But it can't be, because there has to be a second season. There's demand for a second season, and that kind of I mean, it goes both ways, but I think, like there's pros and cons to that, but I think there's more cons.
Well, it's interesting because I wonder because it's not like they release episodes by episode, right? Is that
or is it just by?
Because if they do it by season, that means the director didn't know it was going to be such a big hit. If it was by episodes, then he probably
Yeah, I don't think it was expected to be such a big hit. You know?
Yeah, so maybe like if it was, maybe he would have changed, maybe not even just the ending, but the show in general.
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know, like if the director was thinking like this was just gonna be one season, right? Or he had more stuff planned.
I'm pretty sure most shows in Korea are actually like one season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean that's still like that doesn't make sense for this one though, because it's still like left on a cliffhanger, you know.
Yeah. So, but I think he said he wanted like people to open up questions about like the world and capitalism. Right?
I see.
But I feel like the average viewer actually doesn't really do that.
They don't care about that.
Yeah,
they
don't care.
Give me more. Give me more. I want more.
Want more.
Just give me more of the show. You know. Yeah. Give me a second season. As quick
at least
as
the
you
American
can, right
viewer.
now.
I don't know about the Korean viewer, or just maybe another. I don't know. Globally, but the American viewer wants another season.
Yeah, and that I just realized this. Like, it's like a mini bubble, mini experiment, where not experiment, but I mean what I'm trying to get at right here is that we were just talking about how the audience is just like I want more as fast as possible, and that's kind of like a bubble of what like he's critiquing, you know.
Absolutely.
So that's just a coincidence, a little coincidence there, I guess. But yeah. Any other thoughts? Last minute thoughts? I mean, there's more we could cover.
We could talk more.
I mean, we can. I'm just trying to think. Nothing really comes off the top of the head. I mean,
sure, when we get off the air, we'll probably think of some things. But
right, we'll be like, oh, we could have said that, you know? Yeah. We could have, if we just forgot to put that in there or something like that.
Is there anything else in the series that was like important that we have not discussed yet? I mean, we haven't really we haven't gone like microeconomics on each part of the series, but I don't think we really need to. I think it's better to focus on the broader sense of it.
Yeah, like we don't have to go about like through like the whole plot and everything like that. I think we got most of it down. Yeah, we could talk more. I mean, there's just nothing that really comes to mind, like a bigger like topic to talk about.
Really think of anything.
But anyways, it was a good chat about Squid Game, and yeah, guess we'll see you in the next one.
See you next time.
Adios.